Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen, and enjoy my stories every day. I remember the excitement as I picked out the bouquet, a vibrant mix of lilies and roses, just like the ones my wife adored. Our anniversary was a few days away, and I wanted to make it special, to remind her of how much she meant to me. As I drove to her office, I rehearsed what I would say, imagining her surprised, delighted smile. The receptionist's desk looms ahead as I enter the sleek, modern building where Jenna works. His eyes flicker up from his computer screen, and I catch the faintest smirk curling at his lips. There's something in his gaze, curiosity, anticipation. I brush it off as nerves. Maybe the receptionist just doesn't see many bouquet-wielding husbands. Hello, I'm here to surprise my wife, Jenna Carter. Is she in her office? I ask cheerfully, trying to ignore the uncomfortable feeling squirming in my gut. Ah, Mr. Carter, yes. She's in there, the receptionist says, barely concealing his grin. You're just in time. I nod, though I can't shake the feeling that something is off. My steps echo as I walk through the corridor to Jenna's office, each stride growing heavier with a gnawing sense of unease. The door is slightly ajar, and I push it open, expecting to see her at her desk, working diligently. What I see instead is like a punch to the gut. Jenna, my wife of 5 years, is on her knees, her back arching as she pleasurably accepts the attention of a man I don't recognize. The man, his pants around his ankles, is lost in the moment, oblivious to the intrusion. The sight is like a slap across my face. My heart pounds so violently I think it might burst. Jenna! I shout, my voice cracking with disbelief and anger. She freezes, her head whipping around. Her eyes widen, and her face flushes with a mix of shock and embarrassment. The man scrambles to cover himself, fumbling with his clothes. What? How? Jenna stammers, scrambling to her feet. Her usual composed demeanor is shattered, replaced with a frantic scramble for her clothes. What are you doing here? I came to surprise you for our anniversary, I say through gritted teeth, struggling to keep my voice steady. The flowers, once a symbol of my love, now feel like a cruel joke in my hands. Look, this isn't what it looks like, Jenna begins, but her words falter under my piercing gaze. I turn my attention to the man. Who the hell is this? His eyes dart around nervously, avoiding mine. I'm sorry, man. I didn't know. Get out, I command, my voice low and dangerous. He doesn't need to be told twice, rushing out of the office with his tail between his legs. Jenna stands there, now dressed but looking lost, her face a portrait of regret and guilt. Please, just let me explain. Explain? I scoff, incredulity seething in my tone. There's nothing to explain. I saw everything I needed to see. I feel a surge of anger, a boiling rage that overrides the shock. You were supposed to be loyal. You were supposed to be my partner, my confidant. Tears start to roll down her cheeks. I'm so sorry. I made a terrible mistake. Please, let's talk about this. I shake my head. No. I don't think there's anything left to say. You've made your choices clear. I turn on my heel, leaving Jenna standing there, her cries echoing in the empty office. As I walk out, I feel a cold resolve settle in my chest. This isn't over. If she wants to break the vows we made, then I will ensure she feels the full weight of her betrayal. In the days that follow, I start to lay the groundwork for my plan. I don't want just revenge, I want to dismantle the life she's built on deceit. I begin by gathering evidence, emails, text messages, anything that shows the depth of her infidelity. I contact a lawyer, start the process for divorce, and prepare for the fight ahead. Every action I take is calculated, a step towards dismantling the world Jenna so thoughtlessly shattered. I know this is only the beginning, and the path to retribution will be long and arduous. But as I watch the sun set over the city, I feel a grim satisfaction. Jenna's betrayal has ignited a fire within me, and I am determined to see this through to the end. The road ahead is fraught with challenges, but I am ready. For every lie, for every broken promise, I will make sure that the consequences are as severe as the pain she's caused. This is my vow, and I will see it through, no matter the cost. The sting of betrayal doesn't fade with the sunrise. Instead, it festers, a constant reminder of the plan forming in my mind. I need to act decisively, to ensure Jenna understands the full scope of her actions. Revenge is no longer a fleeting thought, it's a necessity. I start with the immediate, securing my position and ensuring Jenna's deceit is exposed in the most effective way possible. The morning after the confrontation, I find myself at my lawyer's office, a cold, impersonal space that mirrors my mood. Richard, a seasoned divorce attorney with a sharp, calculating mind, looks over the documents I've gathered with a critical eye. "Your case is solid," Richard says, adjusting his glasses. "This evidence could make the difference. But we need to be thorough. Any more proof you can gather will only strengthen your position." "I have more," I reply, pulling out my phone and showing him screenshots of text messages and emails. "Here's evidence of her ongoing affair, both with this man and others." Richard nods, impressed. "This will certainly help. We'll file for divorce on grounds of infidelity and seek full custody of any shared assets. But be prepared. Jenna's likely to fight back." "I'm ready," I say, my voice steely. I want to make sure she feels the weight of what she's done. The conversation shifts to legal strategies and next steps, but my mind is already racing ahead, envisioning Jenna's reaction as the legal documents land on her desk. I want her to experience every ounce of regret I felt when I walked into her office. Later that day, I sit down at my computer and draft a detailed account of Jenna's betrayal, each word carefully chosen to document the pain and disillusionment she's caused. I prepare a package with all the evidence and a letter that will be sent to her friends, family, and colleagues. This isn't just about legal retribution, I want her to face public scrutiny as well. As I'm finalizing the letter, my phone buzzes with a message from an unknown number. It's a photo of Jenna and the man from the office, taken in a hotel lobby. The message reads, "Thought you might like this. From one betrayed soul to another." I stare at the screen, a mix of anger and intrigue swirling within me. It's clear someone else knows about Jenna's infidelity, someone who has their own reason to share this information. I reply with a terse, "Who are you?" The response comes quickly. "Let's just say I have a vested interest in seeing her downfall. I've been watching her for a while. You're not the only one she's hurt." I'm intrigued but wary. This person could be an ally or another complication. I decide to keep the conversation open, but I'm cautious. My primary goal remains the same: execute my plan without getting sidetracked. The following week, I arrange for Jenna to be served with the divorce papers. I want her to have no excuses, no way to deny the consequences of her actions. I choose a moment when she'll be at her office, a place where she's built her professional life. It feels fitting that her work should bear witness to the personal storm brewing. At around noon, I'm outside Jenna's office building, watching as a process server, hired for this task, approaches the front desk. I'm hidden in the lobby, out of sight but close enough to see Jenna's reaction. The server exchanges a few words with the receptionist, who nods and directs him towards Jenna's office. Moments later, the door swings open, and Jenna's face is a mixture of confusion and dread as she receives the envelope. Her eyes scan the contents, and the realization dawns on her. I can see the shock and anger as she reads through the papers, her face contorting with each line. Her reaction is everything I hoped for: disbelief, then panic. I wait for a few more minutes, giving Jenna time to absorb the blow, before heading to the lobby. I'm met with the receptionist's knowing smile as I exit. It seems he's been in on this from the beginning, and his amusement at Jenna's predicament only fuels my determination. I reach my car, the weight of the decision settling on my shoulders. This is just the beginning. The real challenge will be watching Jenna's reaction unfold, seeing how she handles the public humiliation and the legal battle ahead. My plan is working, but I can't let my guard down. There's still much to be done, and I need to stay one step ahead. As I drive away, I can't help but feel a grim satisfaction. Jenna's world is starting to crumble, and I'm only getting started. The fallout from this betrayal is far from over, and I'm ready for whatever comes next. The days after Jenna is served are a whirlwind. Her calls and texts come in a constant barrage, each one more desperate than the last. I let them go straight to voicemail. There's nothing she can say that will change the course of what's already set in motion. Instead, I focus on the next phase of my plan, ensuring the fallout is as comprehensive as her betrayal. One evening, I'm in my home office, sifting through documents and strategizing my next moves, when my phone buzzes with a text from the mysterious source who sent me the hotel lobby photo. The message reads, "We need to talk. It's urgent." I hesitate for a moment, then respond, "Where and when?" The reply is swift, "Meet me at the cafe on 5th Street, in 1 hour. I'll explain everything." An hour later, I enter the dimly lit cafe, a quiet place with a relaxed atmosphere, perfect for a clandestine meeting. I spot a figure in a corner booth, a man in his late 40s with a rugged face and weary eyes. He looks up as I approach, and I recognize the intensity in his gaze. I sit down across from him. "Thanks for coming," he says, his voice gravelly. "I'm Daniel. I've been keeping tabs on Jenna for a while." I nod, leaning in. "What do you know about her?" Daniel takes a sip of his coffee, then begins, "Jenna's been more than just unfaithful. She's been using her position to manipulate and deceive people, both personally and professionally. She's left a trail of wreckage." "What kind of wreckage?" I ask, intrigued. Daniel pulls out a folder and slides it across the table. Proof of her schemes. Financial misdeeds, personal betrayals. I've been compiling this for a long time. You're not the only one she's wronged. I open the folder and scan the documents, emails detailing financial discrepancies, complaints from employees she's mistreated, even personal letters from people she's deceived. The weight of her betrayal becomes even heavier. It's not just me, she's impacted many lives. "So why are you helping me?" I ask. Daniel leans back, studying me. "I've had my own run-ins with Jenna. She ruined a business deal for me, left me with substantial losses. I've been waiting for the right moment to expose her. Your case just gives me the leverage I need." "Why did you contact me?" I inquire. "I've been following your case," Daniel replies. "I figured if we combine our efforts, we can bring everything to light and make sure she faces the full consequences." We agree to work together. Daniel provides me with the missing pieces of Jenna's deceptive schemes, and we strategize on how to reveal them. The plan is to hit her where it hurts most, her professional reputation. We decide to leak the information to the media, ensuring it reaches as many people as possible. As we wrap up our meeting, Daniel's phone rings. He checks the caller ID and looks up at me with a concerned expression. "It's Jenna. She's been trying to reach me for days. She probably suspects I've been involved." I nod. "Handle it. Just make sure she doesn't get any chance to counter our plans." We part ways, and I return home, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. The next day, I work with Daniel to prepare a press release. We carefully draft the statement, including details of Jenna's misconduct and the impact of her actions. It's clear, damning, and meticulously documented. We also prepare a dossier for the media, complete with all the evidence of her wrongdoings. The release goes out, and within hours, Jenna's name is all over the news. Headlines scream about her betrayal and unethical behavior. Social media is abuzz with reactions, and it doesn't take long for the backlash to start. Her colleagues, friends, and clients all weigh in, and the public scrutiny is relentless. I watch the storm unfold from a distance, feeling a grim satisfaction as Jenna's world unravels. The media coverage brings a wave of public shame, and Jenna's phone calls become increasingly frantic. Later that evening, my phone rings. It's Jenna. I almost don't answer, but a part of me wants to hear what she has to say. "Please, just hear me out," Jenna pleads when I pick up. Her voice is shaky, her desperation palpable. "This isn't fair. I made mistakes, but I'm not a terrible person." I take a deep breath. "You had your chance to explain yourself. Now, the world knows who you really are. I'm done with you." There's a moment of silence before she hangs up. I don't feel any sense of triumph, just a cold, detached satisfaction. The revenge is sweet, but it doesn't heal the hurt. As the night deepens, I prepare for the next phase. There's still more to come, settling the financial aspects of the divorce, dealing with the fallout of Jenna's professional life, and confronting her directly once more. The plan is unfolding, and I'm determined to see it through. Jenna's betrayal has set this course in motion, and I'm committed to ensuring every consequence is felt. The weeks after the media storm are tumultuous. Jenna's professional life is in shambles. Her reputation is tarnished, her clients abandon her, and her colleagues avoid her like a plague. I watch from the sidelines, feeling a cold satisfaction as her world crumbles. But even as I revel in the chaos, a lingering question gnaws at me: what else could there be? One evening, while going through the aftermath of the press release, I receive another text from Daniel: "We need to talk. Urgent." The message is terse, its tone ominous. I meet him at the same cafe where we last spoke. Daniel looks more haggard than usual, and his eyes betray a mix of guilt and anxiety. "What's going on?" I ask as I sit down. Daniel hesitates, then pulls out a manila envelope. "I have something you need to see. It changes everything." I open the envelope and pull out a set of documents and photos, detailed financial statements, encrypted emails, and surveillance images. My heart sinks as I scan the contents. It shows not only Jenna's betrayal but also something far more sinister. Daniel has been keeping tabs on me too. Why am I in this? I ask, my voice cold with anger. Daniel looks away, guilt evident in his expression. "There's something I didn't tell you. I've been manipulating this whole situation. I set you up to be the scapegoat for a larger scheme." "What do you mean?" I demand. "The affair, the documents, the media coverage, it was all orchestrated. Jenna was a pawn, and so were you. I needed someone to take the fall so I could benefit from the chaos." My mind reels as the reality of the betrayal sinks in. Daniel, the ally I thought I could trust, has been playing me all along. My resolve hardens. I can't let this stand. If anyone is going to exact revenge, it's going to be me, and it's going to be ruthless. "Why should I believe you?" I ask, my voice low and dangerous. Daniel's face pales. "I have proof. The real story behind everything." He slides a USB drive across the table. "It contains everything: how I manipulated the affair, used your anger to fuel the media frenzy, and orchestrated Jenna's downfall." I take the USB drive, my mind racing. "You think you can just walk away after this?" "No," Daniel says, standing up. "I'm going to disappear. You've won. But you should know that the game was rigged from the start." Before I can react, Daniel slips out of the cafe, leaving me alone with the USB drive and a storm of emotions. I plug it into my laptop and begin sifting through the files. The extent of Daniel's manipulation is staggering. He orchestrated every move, every piece of evidence to ensure Jenna's destruction while using me as a tool for his own gain. The revelation hits me hard. I've been a pawn in a much larger game of deceit. My anger shifts from Jenna to Daniel, who has played both sides with cruel precision. I decide to confront Jenna one last time. I know she's staying at a temporary apartment while dealing with the fallout. I arrive at the building, my mind set on making sure she understands the true extent of the betrayal. I knock on her door, and when she opens it, her eyes are red-rimmed and filled with defeat. "What do you want?" she asks, her voice hollow. "I need you to understand something," I say, pushing past her into the apartment. "You weren't the only one deceived." Jenna looks bewildered as I show her the documents and the USB drive. "Daniel set us both up. He used your betrayal and my anger to manipulate the entire situation." Her face pales as she takes in the information. "So, we were both pawns?" "Exactly," I reply. "Daniel played us against each other for his own benefit. And now, he's disappeared, leaving us to deal with the wreckage." Jenna slumps onto the couch, her anger turning to despair. "How could we have been so blind? We were both victims of his machinations," I say. "But that doesn't change the fact that we're done. I can't trust you anymore, and you can't trust me. We were used, and now we have nothing left." Jenna nods, tears streaming down her face. "I understand. We both have to move on." I turn to leave, feeling a mix of relief and emptiness. As I walk away, I see a shadowy figure in the hallway, a security guard who was hired by Daniel to keep watch on me. "Stop right there," the guard commands, his voice cold and authoritative. I turn, and a confrontation ensues. The guard tries to restrain me, but I fight back fiercely, determined not to let Daniel's last puppet hinder me. The struggle is intense, but I manage to overpower the guard, making my escape into the night. The final act of revenge is brutal and swift. I track down Daniel's location using the information on the USB drive and ensure that his life is disrupted just as he disrupted ours. I leak his identity and misdeeds to the same media outlets he used to destroy Jenna. The exposure is immediate and severe, and soon, Daniel is facing the same public shaming he inflicted on others. In the end, as I look back on the wreckage, I feel a sense of grim satisfaction. The deceptions are exposed, the traitors punished, and the game is over. Jenna and I part ways, bound by a shared hatred of betrayal and manipulation. The final chapter of this story isn't one of redemption but of harsh, cold retribution. Both Jenna and I are left to pick up the pieces of our shattered lives, knowing that trust, once broken, can never truly be repaired.